Okay, folks, so I'm just starting to film this episode about the cost of living in Belgrade, but what's your name?
Tristan.
Tristan. Yeah, you fucking recognize me on the street about this, so... Okay, so how much... You live here?
Yes, I do.
How much do you live here for per month?
I've been living here the last 5.5 years.
Yeah.
And, but in and out. So like about 2.5 years and out back. I'm from Switzerland, actually.
Yeah?
And yeah, so pretty much, yeah, that's...
How much do you live off, like 800 euros a month, or what is it?
Right now I'm out of work, but usually I would say to be able to live, like, I don't know if it's like quite comfortable, like, but not like luxuriously. I'd say probably like 650 euros is enough. Like,
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so you know, over there at Polet on Friday night we're having an event.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, go on the channel. There's a couple shoutouts there. Belgrade Beat. Search it and come on Friday. It's going to be early. We're going to have a discussion and stuff like that.
What's it called?
Polet. You'll just go on the channel, Belgrade Beat, and you'll find it. Oh,
Okay,
hope to
great,
see you there on
great.
Friday
Yeah.
night, man. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That's a really fun way to start the video. Guy, expat living here, runs into me and says, "Oh, you're the guy from that YouTube channel." Yeah, absolutely I am. And my video is about people like you living here. So he said about 650 was good. So let's talk about food. Here's Bailoni Piazza. If you buy your vegetables directly from the piazza, you can get fresh vegetables, not the whole year, you know, at the cheapest prices, but it can be quite incredibly cheap. And basically, yeah, it can be like, you know, kilo of peppers for 80 dinars, which is 60 euro cents. Now, I would say most Serbian people eat for about 3 to 5 euros a day, fast food or at home or whatever, averaged maybe as low as 2, but that would be on the low side, I think. But then, you know, folks, once you get into some of the finer things in life, like you have in this shop here, finer things in life, like all of this smoked meat stuff and goat's cheese, then you can spend a little more. You know, now that I'm into the fine cured meats and the goat's cheeses and all these health food products, I would say I eat an amazing diet with fresh vegetables, all that stuff I just mentioned, a bunch of nuts and, you know, all this stuff for about 7 to 10 euros a day, including, you know, fine olive oil from Greek sources and fine sort of, you know, fine things, you know? When you go out for coffee in a place like this, double espresso, about €1.50, 180 dinars. Some places will charge you 240. I don't go to those places because these ones are just as good for 180 dinars. So, you know, they have different choice of coffee beans like Brazil, Colombia, Kenya. Can you dig it? Anything you want in the cafes here, €1.50. It's the average thing. And, you know, when you go out and you want to have a beer in the bar, you know, sit on a nice patio like this. This is Trojac. It's a really nice place. That can range anywhere from the cheapest would be about €1, the absolute cheapest. And the most expensive, I think, that I've seen was about €4 for a small little puny bottle of beer in like the sort of, you know, like turbo folk places with, you know, women who are dancing on the tables in less clothing than you can imagine. You know, so the price of the beer, you know, sometimes, you know, I go out and sort of, you know, like to drink fancy beers because, you know, my tastes in life got better. You know, more refined, you know, German Weissbier, Erdinger, Paulaner, Kapuziner, Weissbier, all that sort of German stuff is about 240, €2 to €3 in the bar, whereas the normal beer is like €1 to €1.50, depending on the place and how fancy it is. So, lots of people, local people like to eat their fast food, not so much in restaurants. A good restaurant meal will cost you, I'd say, about €10 with a beer. With a beer for €10. There's cheaper places, more expensive places, but it rarely goes more expensive than like €10 for a main course. And, you know, normally when I go out to a restaurant, it's like €10 and I get a salad, main course like schnitzel or goulash, and a beer, maybe some coffee. I don't know. That's 10 euros. Not so bad. What else, folks? If you're coming just for a little bit in Airbnb, you can find them for 20, 30 euros a night. Private apartments that are very nice. And in terms of renting an apartment, that's kind of a thing because it's all different shapes and sizes and all different types of locations. Right now I'm walking through Lower Deutschel, around here, right? And this is a nice neighborhood, about 10 minutes walking from the center, and the apartments around here for a decent sort of one bedroom type deal can be about 250 euros at the moment. So 250 euros, and then the bills will be about, you know, maybe 100 euros with internet, which is 15 euros and stuff like that. And the heating, sometimes central heating, sometimes electric. I'll explain this more in the later videos. But you know, apartments can range. If you go, I know people who are living out in the suburbs of Belgrade, you know, half an hour on the bus away from Zeleni Venac or away from, you know, the main square, and they're paying like 100 euros for a decent apartment. Nice. It's just hard to get into, takes a while to get into the city, and you know, sometimes you have to take a night bus or taxi back there at the end of the day, you know. And there's lots of new buildings being built. I would say as an expat you probably want to live in the city center, and the apartments there start from 250, so you can go as low as 100 per month if you're willing to live in some outside place, older building. Most apartments come in furnished, so you don't have to worry about the cost of furniture, but you will get sort of granny furniture things going on in a lot of apartments that are not so modern. Yeah, but that's another story for the apartment renting video I'll make later. Going out and drinking, I explained that. Food, I explained that. Health insurance, I've had like a couple different ones. One of them was 15 euros a month, and that was including emergency service and private clinics and all that jazz. And one of them was 60 euros per year, which include like doctor checkups and stuff like that. Of course, I didn't ever actually have to use any of these health insurances because I'm young and healthy. Mobile phones, let's see, mobile phones are about, I pay about, there's packages for prepaid. I will not do postpaid because, well, it's just not how I roll. Prepaid packages, 5 euros for 150 minutes a month and 2,000 SMSs from VIP provider. So 5 euros per month for 150 minutes, and then you can keep on topping up when you need it. Get bigger packages with more. You know, internet can be 15 euros to 30 euros for the really fast one. You have excellent mobile internet here, which I pay about, it's about 10 gigabytes a month for 1,000 dinars, which is 8 euros for 10 gigabytes lasting 1 month, which is quite enough if you're just using your phone, maybe even posting some videos like this. Lots of nice apartments that are being built in areas like this, close to the city center, sort of more rundown areas. They're building these nice new buildings. You can find places in that, maybe a little more expensive. So all in all, I would say 800 euros to 1,000 euros for an expat life that includes going out, a little bit of travel around Serbia, maybe even, you know, a cheap flight to some other European country at some point. You know, 800 to 1,000 euros a month is like all you'd want for your own apartment in the city center or nearby, and food, you know. But as the Swiss guy said at the start of this video, you can do it for about 650 as an expat and still not be sacrificing on the things that count. You just have to watch your wallet a little bit. If you go out and, you know, just spend on booze everywhere, fancy stuff, eat fancy food like I do, and it's really good. Oh, gym membership is about 25 euros, and so I would say I'm living on about 800 euros a month, but it's hard for me to tell because I'm running a business and my business expenses are intermingled with my living expenses, and I take money out of my pocket for both of them all the time, so it's hard for me to tell. But I'm living really well here for not a lot of money. I know that, and I know I could never have the quality of a life for the quantity of money back in Canada or the UK, the two other countries that I've lived. So I hope that answers your question about the cost of living in Serbia. Of course, I didn't talk about the smaller cities, which are just cheaper. I'm sure you can go, if you want to go really small and go to, you know, some of these cities that are almost empty and dead, I'm sure you can go and give them 50 euros and have your own apartment for a month. It's just a question of what you would do in these places, you know? Beer is cheaper in those places too. Everything's cheaper. But, you know, the quality of life in Belgrade is amazing. And I don't want to live anywhere else in this country but here. Novi Sad would be the second option, but it just doesn't have this pulse of life that Belgrade does. So thanks for watching Belgrade Beat. If you like this and want more tips on moving to Serbia as an expat, please subscribe. And if you want to email me personally about your situation and stuff like that, write to eric@eric.rs, because, you know, like, I'll give you some free advice. And if you want to hire somebody here to sort out you moving here and all this stuff that I talked about, and, you know, go around to agencies and that, we can hook you up with that too. So eric@erik.rs. Thanks a lot, Eric Moot, Belgrade Beat, from the beautiful city of Belgrade. Subscribe if you like it. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye now.